It's another early morning small pond session. I quite enjoy these. I've been into small venues for a long time, but particularly for a few years now. I enjoy the challenge. The water's very shallow, it's very clear. You're not necessarily going to catch monster fish, but as long as you're realistic and you take everything into perspective, I'll tell you what, you can have some great sessions on places like this. They are invariably short though, because once you start to catch a few fish and there's a little bit of disturbance, or even if a small pike moves into the area, that's the kiss of death. But while it lasts, enjoy it. Within seconds of casting out, the float disappears and I'm not a blanker. No sooner had I dropped the bait into the spot again, this time a perch. A couple of white maggots on a size 14 hook. I'll go through my rig in a moment. It's a very simple approach, also very standard as well. If you do watch my videos regularly, that's a Shimano 3500 reel, Gray's Prodigy TX float rod. It's a 12-foot rod. I've got 4-pound Maxima Chameleon on the reel. You've already seen the bait there. It's a Drennan Super Specialist hook, 4-pound Maxima Chameleon. The water is about 12 inches deep, so very, very shallow indeed. It's the same approach that I use on these type of small pools though. The shot either side of the float so that the bait sinks naturally in the water, and that's my waggler that I mentioned recently has certainly had its wear. You can see it's starting to fade a little bit at the edges, but it does the job. That's the important thing, isn't it? And I'm throwing out a few maggots each time. The fish are there from the start. That's always an encouraging sign. So what you want to do as far as feeding's concerned, whether it's a tiny pond like this or a huge river, you want to get the fish competitive. You want to keep them in the swim feeding, but you want them competitive. So I suppose if you were to draw the bottom line, if you've got 20 fish in front of you, put 18 maggots out at a time. I know that's simplifying it and you'll never know exactly how many fish you've got there, but you get the idea. Can you hear those birds in the background there? Do you know what they are? There's a family group of them. I've just been watching them through my binoculars.